Southwest pilot James Fritzen Taylor went on a gay-bashing rant over the cockpit radio, and he recently came out and apologized for it. But before I talk about his apology, I want to give you guys a little taste of what he said. Now, keep in mind that other Southwest pilots could hear this perfectly clear, and in fact, on several different occasions, they asked him to stop, but he just kept going. Let's watch.
Well, but I had Tucson, Indy, all 4 weeks, and Chicago cruise. 11 out of 12. There's 12 flight attendants, individual, never the same flight attendant twice. 11 fucking over-the-top, fucking ass-fucking homosexuals and a granny. 11. I mean, think of the odds of that. I thought I was in Chicago, which was party land. After that, it was just a continuous stream of gays and grannies and grandes. Well, I don't give a fuck. I hate 100% of their asses. So, 6 months I went to the bar 3 times. In 6 months, 3 times. Once with the granny in the bag, and I wish I hadn't gone. At the very end with 2 girls, one of them that was probably doable, but we ended up going to the bar and then to the crew room in St. Louis, and all these 2 women wanted to do was one wanted to berate her sister and the other wanted to bitch about her husband. Literally. For 3 hours, me and the FO. When that was done, 2:30 got back to my room, I'm like, why the fuck did I stay up?
Okay, weather's transmitting. Better watch what you're saying.
Friendly, but they were still mopeds. You know what I mean? I still wouldn't want anyone to know if I had banged them. So, I mean, it was a complete disaster for 6 months. Now I'm back in Houston, which is easily one of the ugliest bases. I mean, it's all these fucking old dudes and grannies, and there's like maybe a handful of cute chicks.
Okay, someone's got a stuck mic and telling us all about their endeavors. We don't need to hear that.
On and on and on like that. I mean, he has absolutely no judgment. He just would not stop. So, of course, that video went public. People were outraged by it. By the way, he's a pilot, okay? He is flying the plane. And while he's flying the plane, he's going on this crazy rant. So, of course, he got criticized for it, and he decided to apologize. Now, if you can remember from that audio, he said that Houston had the ugliest people in the base. And then when he was going on and on and on about gay people, he was referring to gay people in Chicago. Now, it's funny because his apology only gives like a very specific apology to Houston. Like, he apologizes for everything he said, don't get me wrong, right? But then he makes like a special apology to Houston for calling them ugly, but there's nothing mentioned for Chicago for talking about the gay people there.
Yeah, what I think he should apologize to is all the grannies. By the way, why is this guy trying to sleep with all the grannies? Or I guess he's not trying to, but he keeps running into them by coincidence or something. That's another interesting thing, right? This guy's obviously trying to get laid, and all he runs into is granny and gay guys. Fascinating. Look, if I was in Chicago and Houston, I bet I could meet a couple of hot straight women. Doesn't mean I'd get laid by them, but I'd be able to go to a bar where I could find them. Right? He's like, whoops, golly gee willikers, I wound up next to 11 gay guys again. How did that happen? And you did say he was broadcasting over the cockpit, right?
Oh, God. Where's the Beavis and Butthead sound thing? Yes, he was broadcasting over the cockpit. So, which is so ballsy, all right? And, but it is, because even if you know most of the pilots for the airline, how do you know one of the pilots isn't gay? Or how do you know that one of the pilots isn't going to be extremely offended by this? Of course one of them was, because this was made public and now he's in a world of trouble. I mean, he apologized and everything, but his apology, as sincere as some people might think it is, nothing can make up for the things that he said in that audio. It was terrible.
Well, look, again, you know, the reason we bring this up is because our constant theory that anybody who's this over the top against gays, you know, is a questionable dude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And has had some thoughts in his head, etc. Because the part that struck me was he didn't say I hate them. He said I hate their asses, like as if he wanted to do something to their asses. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching. Okay, but I mean that's the sense I got from the guy.
Maybe you're stretching a little bit, but if he were to come out and say he's gay a year or two from now, I wouldn't be surprised. We are wearing awesome t-shirts today. It's not as obvious as it should be.
Yeah, this is...
It's a matador, matador. I wanted a shirt that looked cute and was comfortable, and this was it. But unfortunately, the logo isn't large enough. It's very silky and soft. Do you feel the softness?